Take another breath. And I am so pleased to share the pulpit today with one of my most favorite people in the world. I can honestly say I really don't know where I would be if it had not been for Brother Ishmael Tetteh and his support. I feel like I can honestly say I don't even know where Inner Light might be if it had not been for the constant prayers from his mystics for this ministry that have gotten us through some of our roughest times. So, you know, we're a praying community, and we're always praying for folks, yes?
Yes.
How many of you in here feel like you have made it through some tough time or something because of prayers that have been coming out of this community? Okay. So, we have people's backs in prayer, and somebody's got our back in prayer. I want you to feel that. We may be independent as a spiritual community, but we are not isolated. We're not isolated. And there are people all over the world who are carrying out the same consciousness. You know, I trained in religious science, which Ernest Holmes started, and it's the most amazing thing in the world. Without Brother Tetteh hearing anything about Ernest Holmes or New Thought, independently, the books that he wrote could have been Ernest Holmes' textbook. It's like the idea that comes and everybody hears it. So the Ethereum mission that he started almost 45 years ago is the metaphysical center in Ghana. And I don't mean like just the, like the premier. I mean it is like the. I had the privilege of spending a month with he and his wife at their home for the 35-year anniversary when I went back with Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith and the Agape community and had a chance to bask in the generosity and the goodness. And, you know, when you spend a month someplace, it gives you a little bit of a time to get, you know, a feel for it. And what I can tell you is that the sincerity, the power, even the smallest children, when they have prayer services, the little types, like the 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds, they're being the practitioners and praying. Like big U, and you can go up to any of them, and I mean on it. Like really, really on it. There's a hospital that they've been building next door, and we happened to be there at the point in time of the dedication of it. And I had a chance to be in clinic many days with Brother Ishmael. He's tapped in. The plants and the herbs speak to him. So he'll go out of the city and into the jungle and pick things, and it's just, it's like a natural pharmacy like you've never seen before, with everything drying and curating and being prepared. And with this hospital that they've created, it's a model like I've never seen before. So on the 4th floor, it's indigenous wisdom, it's native culture, it's the stuff that we know, you know, like natural things. The 2nd floor is designed for Western medicine, and the 3rd floor is designed as a wellness center.
Spiritual medicine.
Yes, spiritualism, to really heal mind, body, and soul from whatever, addiction and all these other kinds of things. Isn't that like an extraordinary model?
Wow.
He owned the premier computing company in Ghana. And it's this way of taking the most ancient wisdom with the most modern technology and the things that we have and bridging those gaps. So there was a call that he knew that he had put out not unlike what happened with the Achuar in the Amazon with the Pachamama Alliance that I'm on the board with. This call to partner with people in the other parts of the world.
Yes.
And Beckwith heard the call, and kind of like the rest is history, so that he is connected now to a lot of our sister churches. They've been doing a tour on the West Coast for the past few weeks or so. They're about to end it up in Agape in Los Angeles next week, so we're very glad that we are part of this tour. If you had not intended to come to the workshop afterwards, I want to encourage you to do that. You know, check him out online. There is so much wisdom that's here. And I know that for Americans, he tries to package it so that like we can grasp it, because so much of that would be so like way, way, way over our heads. But no matter how simple a message is that he's giving, I'm sure you can feel the power of that spirit, you know, that's deep, 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 deep within. And there are not many times that I get a chance to sit here and just be fed. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna turn this mic over, and I am going to let Brother Ishmael Tetteh give us a feast from Accra, Ghana. Please, Brother Ishmael Tetteh.
Thank you.
And the last time he was here, he probably wouldn't want me to say this, but I think it's worth acknowledging. He gave us a very generous donation. So financial support as well. I'm talking about all the way around. Thank you, Brother Ishmael.
Thank you so much, my beloved sister, Dr. Deborah Johnson. Thank you, Inner Lights. Blessed be each one here for creating the space to allow me to step into, to share. My passion is world peace in our lifetime. And world peace in our lifetime is a call for all of us to step up and say, in my lifetime. Somebody say, in my lifetime. In my lifetime. World peace happens.
World peace happens.
And you see, maybe my lifetime will end tomorrow. But your lifetime will end next year. And somebody's lifetime will end in 1,000 years. But if each person says, in my lifetime, then it means there's a continuous flow of the energy for us to experience what we have been craving for. Inner peace for the eventual realization of world peace. I know that nobody will have any problem whatsoever in hearing my wonderful Americanese accent. Because I know the right words to say now. I know to say blinker and not trafficator. I know to say the trunk of the car and not the boot of the car. And I know to say I'm going to the restroom and not the toilet. Though when you go there, there is no bed to rest. However, I will encourage everyone to listen to this passionate message I have for the world from your heart. Fulfilling happiness. That is the topic. Fulfilling happiness. It is a desire of everyone in life. We all want happiness. It is the reason why you want to marry, why you want to have business. It is the reason that makes you wake up to do something or whatever. It is the reason why you want to have good education, travel the world. Happiness. But when you look at the word happiness, is it a good thing or a bad thing? Well, that's where I want us to deliberate. on happiness. Many of us in life, we take ourselves for granted. And you know that you don't want to be taken for granted. When you are taken for granted, you feel hurt, abused, reduced, misused. When you are taken for granted, you want to hide. You want to fight. But the problem with all of us is that we are taking ourselves for granted. When you take you for granted, then life will take you for granted. Because you are exuding that, and what you exude is what you attract. If you look into yourself, you will realize that you know more about your mobile phone than yourself. And that shows how much you are taking you for granted. You Google to find the features of your mobile phone and how well to use it. But how much do you know about your own blood group? How much do you know about how you function physically? Then, how much do you know about how you function mentally and emotionally? Have you taken a mind map of your mind to know the type of thoughts that come to your mind? They are usually very few, and they repeat across all of your ages. When you know your mind map, you can easily identify the type of thoughts that produce what in your life, and you can know what to remove and what to slot in. But because you take you for granted, your mind doesn't matter. Your feelings don't matter. 99% of the things you are doing them robotically. Just a repetition of the same thinking and feeling in various circumstances. And that's all because you are taking you for granted. And that's why I want us to take this very seriously. Happiness, fulfilling happiness. It's what you've been craving for. I want to marry that beautiful woman so I'll be happy. Oh, get the latest sound system and then I will be happy. Some few weeks after, you forget about them, am I right? Many marriages have not even spent 24 hours together. Because they even take their marriages for granted. Just come home, hello, hello, and then you go back to your as usual. Happiness. In the pursuit of happiness, we create almost all the evils on the planet. Check your life. In seeking happiness, somebody is standing in my way to happiness. Let me kill him. Let me pull him down. Let me destroy him. Let me hurt him. Let me steal what he has so I will be happy. So you discover that in the pursuit for happiness, evil is manifesting. This is why this topic is important. In seeking happiness, we are birthing sorrows, pain, misery, confusions. Why is that so? Is it wrong to seek happiness? Is it wrong to seek happiness? No. I don't hear you. No. Well, that's where the problem is. In seeking happiness, you will create nothing but evil. Happiness is not something that must be sought after. The sun does not seek for its light, it simply shines its light. The wave does not seek its waters, it simply releases its waters and saltiness. The moment you begin to seek happiness, you have lost it. The trees simply birth their fruits, they don't seek fruits. That's how nature speaks. I'm the wisest man on the planet because I let my stupidity get out of the way and allow nature to speak through me. Yes. And when nature is the wisest, her wisdom speaks through me. So I'm the wisest on the planet because I get my stupidity out of the way. We live in our life seeking happiness, and it's like the proverbial statement, why seek ye the living among the dead? Why seek the living among the dead? At the end of the day, we live in our lives as stunted beings. Happiness is not something we can ever seek and find. Everybody is seeking for happiness, yet nobody knows what constitutes happiness. So we don't know what we are seeking. We don't know how it can be sought after. We don't know how we can find it. And when we find it, we will not even know we have found it because we don't even know what it looks like. So the world largely is lost because it is seeking happiness. The sun does not seek to shine, it shines. It doesn't seek rays, it shines its rays. A baby will not get up to look for happiness. It simply exudes happiness, isn't it? Yes. That's why we feel very good when we carry babies. Intuitively, something inside you makes you know what you have missed. So carrying a baby sometimes just feels good because it's like reminding you of your real self that you have lost. Hence, Yeshua will teach you and say that unless you become like little children, you cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven. Many people are living their lives hoping that they can find happiness after death. When we lose touch with how to find happiness, then the preachers will tell you, you just be good and one day you will go to a certain place called heaven. If you don't know your Pythagoras theorem whilst you are living the daytime, you can't go to sleep and wake up doing it. So if you don't experience happiness now on earth, you can't experience it in the hereafter. So you better wake up and experience happiness. Better wake up and experience happiness. Happiness, according to nature, has an anatomy. And when you know the anatomy of happiness, now you can create happiness. Now you can birth happiness. Now you can do happiness. For me to explain the anatomy of happiness, and I'm happy this afternoon, I'll have the opportunity to take you through the workshop so you can really find your source of power. Because happiness is the core quest of everybody. It is the desire of the murderer and the entrepreneur. The murderer and the entrepreneur are all seeking the same thing. Nature says happiness has an anatomy. When you find the anatomy of happiness, now you will know how to create it. Let me give you two scenarios to help us know and understand the anatomy of happiness. When somebody does something good, wonderful, and beautiful for you, you'll feel happy. Yes? I don't hear you.
Yes.
That makes me know that my Americanese accent is good. If you respond, then I know my Americanese accent is good. So let's go through again. When somebody does something good, beautiful, and wonderful for you, you feel happy. Yes?
Yes.
That's scenario one. Scenario two. When you do something beautiful and wonderful for somebody, you feel happy. Am I right?
Yes.
Which of these two gives you lasting happiness? The first or the second?
Second.
The second. So happiness has an anatomy. When somebody does something good, wonderful for you, yes, you are happy. But it is when you do it for others that you really get what we call fulfilling happiness. Because in that doing for others, you expand an innate quality of your soul. So a soul quality grows. Happiness is not material. You can't see it. You can't touch it. It is a soul quality. It is only in the identification of the soul quality, nourishing and expanding it so that it has beneficial impact on life, that you experience fulfilling happiness. When your happiness is material, you are always afraid because your happiness is dependent on something that you can lose. So you are always afraid of losing what your happiness is dependent on. When your happiness is the identification of the soul quality, the soul seeds, in the growth of the soul seeds, because they are in your soul, they are forever yours. And no one can touch your happiness. No one can take it away. If something can affect your happiness, you have never had it. But when you grow your happiness, every challenge or pain you even meet in life is your opportunity to express another dimension of your happiness. When the sun meets the obstacle of the clouds, it simply says, here comes my opportunity to show my quality of colors. So it shines more and shows that I'm not just one color you are seeing. Here I am. Which of me do you want to enjoy? oh pain, oh discomfort, oh disease, oh sin, which of my qualities do you want to experience and enjoy? That is nature speaking. So happiness has an anatomy. One, an innate quality, and then the impact. Somebody say innate quality.
Innate quality.
Innate quality.
Innate quality.
And impact. Impact. So let me illustrate. When you left home and went to the hospital to bat for that friend of yours, because the friend was ill, what made you to leave home and go to the friend? Maybe love, somebody will say care, somebody will say compassion. So different innate qualities moves us to do things in goodness. And you need to find which are my innate qualities that move me to do what. So if it is care that moved you to go to the hospital to bat for the person, care is that innate quality. It is your DNA. And what you did brought some impact on the person. The person became well and was able to work and feed his family. So the innate quality and the impact it produced. Whenever you think of that innate quality and what it did, you always feel happy. You always feel fulfilled. And the more you do it, the more you expand that innate quality. And expanding that innate quality, you are actually expanding your own soul. And we came to the planet to identify and expand our souls. Hence, for those of you involved with Bible, you recall it in Genesis 1:28, God giving you the original blessing and saying, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion. I have created you in my image and likeness, and I want you to be more of me. Somebody say, I'm here to be more of God.
I'm here to be more of God.
That's the original blessing. To be more of your soul innate qualities. And that is what gives you fulfilling happiness. Again, when you find your soul innate qualities and the impact, you have found your place of power. In African theology, we say powerful prayers are not the powerful, beautiful words you say, but the places of power where you speak them from. Where do you speak your prayers from? So when I get up and I know that I am the God of liberty, so I speak from the place of liberty, because indwelling me are the qualities that want to liberate people. When I liberate people, when I make people birth or unleash their potential, that is what makes me happy. So when I wake up and I say, oh, liberating spirit of the universe, veritable power of the Godhead, come to your full glorification through me today, meeting the needs of the world, lifting the sick, lifting the needy, raise up generations that honor you in life, I go out amplifying and multiplying me. Am I making sense to somebody? Yes. So I may not even need to pray for anything that I need, because when I am here to liberate people, when I'm here to make people unleash their power, one of my gifts is that I make sinners feel comfortable to do their corrections. Identify yours. What are the innate qualities which, when fulfilled, when they do something, it gives you fulfilling happiness? So happiness is something that you do for a state of being. Happiness is not a state of being. It is what you do to arrive at a state of being. It is always a doing. It isn't something you must pursue. It is something you must do. So do your happiness. Create your happiness. Manifest your happiness. I know some of you may not be able to come to me this afternoon. And for those of you out there live streaming, you better take the aircraft, the planes, and fly here. Yes. But the processes are so simple. You see, the most important things in life are so close to us, we never see them. For example, the closest spot to your eyes is your nose ridge. It is the point you don't see. Because it is so close to the eyes, you don't see them. Similarly, The most important things in life are so close to you, but you keep looking for them outside of you. When you discover your innate quality, it will be the reason for you to marry that man or woman. You don't marry that man or woman to make you happy. You have identified your innate qualities, and you know what you are doing for fulfilling happiness, so you know the partner with whom you expand that quality. It is the reason for you to buy that car to help you expand that quality, to use it for the expansion of the innate quality. Am I making sense to somebody? So that's how to find fulfilling happiness. It is your power. When you find it and you speak from that place, and every one of us, your innate quality has got a location in your body's energy system, which we shall do this afternoon. Your innate quality, there's a place in your body's energy system, sometimes in the body itself or around it, where it speaks from. When you find this spot and you put your attention there, what you command from that place manifests. Because it's coming from the authentic you. It is amplifying you. It is fulfilling you. And all you do, for those of you who may not come this afternoon, to give you some part that you can start practicing, all you do is to just make a list in your life. The list of all the times you did something good and it brought some positive impact. And always be conscious of positive impact response. Positive what?
Impact response.
You see, have you done something good for somebody and eventually the person turned his or her back on you? Have you experienced that? Yeah. Okay. Because sometimes the way we even do the good causes wrong or evil in people. For example, a community has done something good, or somebody has done something, for example, a community has done something wrong and you want to correct them, or your son, your daughter has done something wrong and you want to correct. When you determine the impact response you want to see, it will direct the way you do the good. In whatever way you throw light on somebody, it will cast a shadow, unless it is on the person perpendicular. So you must know how you are casting the light on the person so that it becomes a blessing in the person's life. So somebody has done something wrong and you want to correct, you can use what we call condemnative procedure or empowering procedure. With condemnative procedure, see, you are rotten, stupid, good for nothing. See what you have done. How could you do such a mistake? Get up and see how you can correct it. That's condemnative. Empowering procedure. You are great and mighty. You have so much intelligence and ability. This is not really like you. And I believe with your intelligence, you can resolve it. The person will feel empowered to correct it immediately. Because that is the response I want. With the first one, the person feels battered, and when a person feels battered, the person will back out. May do nothing. So the error continues. So you must not only do good, but when you know, you now do what we call impact response. Many people come to the planet with some qualities of the soul. Your quality may be to bless 1,000 souls. And you end up blessing 1,000 souls, we call you impact matrix person. We call you parallel impact matrix person. You came with 1,000 soul force, and you bless 1,000 people, parallel. You came with 1,000 soul force, and then you ended up blessing maybe 100. You have become convergent. We came with 1,000 soul force, and your life blessed 1,000,000. You are divergent. We are all here to be divergent impact matrix beings. And to the degree that your life is a blessing to the thousands, to the millions, you are growing your own soul. You see, your children are not those who came from you. Your children are those who you come through. Your soul grows proportionally to the number of people who the good you are is growing in and growing through. Am I making sense? Yes. There was a man by name Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him. He had 7 wives, I think, and 4 children. Today, no one cares about his descendants. We don't know them. And no one cares. And then there was a man by name Yeshua. He had no wife and no children. Do you know him? Yeah. His English name is Jesus. He had no wife and no children. We know him too. We know Prophet Muhammad not by the number of children he had. We know Yeshua not by the number of children he had, but by his work. So somebody grow you in other souls. Grow you in other souls. We are here so that the good you are will grow in other souls. And that is what gives you fulfilling happiness. Then when you are anchored in fulfilling happiness, you pray from the place of fulfilling happiness, you have found your power. You no more pray. You allowed your power to pray. And when you also find fulfilling happiness, you found your purpose. Your purpose is locked into what you came here to do. Your purpose is that you are here to do something. Purpose is made up of three things: who you are, the vision that brought you here, and the mission. And when you find what gives you fulfilling happiness, you have found the trail of your purpose. You will observe that there are common things you've done all through your life, and there's a common good that is seeking to express through you. When this good is not expressing, you feel choked in, and this causes internal confusion. It's like something wants to do some good, you don't know what that good is, so nothing is growing in you, you are stunted. We are having stunted humanity. Humanity is to be expansive of its own God glory. So identify your innate God qualities and begin to nourish them. When you don't know what seeds you have, you will not know how to plant them, how to nurse them to grow to become mighty trees. Once you know your innate God qualities, your innate soul seeds, you will know how to grow them. So your life business is simply to grow your soul seeds. And when you are growing your innate soul seeds, life grows and blossoms you. After all, what do you want? You want to have the whole world to be happy. And now, you become the richest person in the world because you have the whole world. And I mean that literally. My sister had lived with me and will tell you, every day she's seen me in supreme happiness. Because that is my life. Life is seeking to be more of itself through you. And all you need to do is to say yes. You become the richest man, and I'm the richest man on the planet. You know that? The richest man, because the goal of every rich man is to have happiness. Am I right? Yes. And when I can have the happiness without $1, then I'm the richest man. Because something inside me is growing. Something inside me is growing. At the end of your life, how well have you grown? What did you come to the world with and as? How well has that grown as you? Until you define this, my beloved, you are just in the rat race, seeking what you don't know. And when you don't know what you are seeking, how can you have it? It's a confused world. But once you find you're that innate you start growing, you start having inner contentment, inner peace, and there's always the inner passion for you to be more. There is never a moment when you will say, I have had enough. I have had enough will make you a dirty water. Still waters always smell. They must always be flowing. Yes? Always be flowing or moving, expanding, doing something. Still waters smell. So there's never a moment when you will say, I have had enough. You are here to be more of you and be more of you, and then that innate quality, when it is expanding to do its good, because it is life's qualities in you seeking to do its good, it will begin to attract to you all the people, the resources needed for its expansion naturally. It will know when and where to put you for you to experience the next stage of your life. It is what you are seeking. Happiness. So I call it fulfilling happiness. With material happiness, you are always afraid. You are always confused. You are always frustrated because you don't know when even you have had it. When even you have, like in the lives of many people, they have all the money and they are afraid of losing the money. So they are poor in their riches. But when you have fulfilling happiness, your soul is growing. You're becoming more of you. And that becomes the inner vision. You now start beginning to see from the realms of spirit. You meet with people and you don't see their bodies any longer. You are seeing the souls of the people because the soul of you, you see, that innate quality is your soul. You begin now to have the soul vision into things and into life. It's a peaceful world. Deep within you, this innate good is seeking its expression. It is you. Please welcome you to yourself because something inside you is seeking to be friends with you. Your real self is seeking its partnership with you. And I'm happy that this afternoon I shall have the opportunity for us to go deeper through the stages by stage. But for now, make a list of all the times you've done something good and observe the character, observe the pattern. You will see that there are one or two goods. Usually, everybody has about 5 or 6 at most of regular good things that you do. Most people have just 2 of regular good things that you do. When you check your life from age 0, that is birth to present time, you will see common regular good things that you do. And often, because you don't know what it is, you feel that, oh, somebody has not appreciated my good, and then you feel hurt. But when you know, and you meet with the obstacle of somebody abusing your good, you only tell yourself, wait, let me show you the next dimension of the good I am. That's what the sun does. When he meets with the cloud, it says, wait, let me show you the glorious me. Beloved, I welcome you to fulfilling happiness. It is your state. Welcome you into doing it. Welcome you into creating it. And thank you for listening.
I'm going to have Josephine give us a prayer. Yes. I'm going to ask, this one on? I'm going to ask one of Brother Tetteh's mystics, Josephine Tetteh, please come up and give us a prayer.
Shall we be anchored in spirit? And connect to the original breath that breathed itself into the manifestation of things from the beginning. The beginning that formed all of life, including you. This original breath that has manifested itself as all things, and it has manifested itself as you. In oneness with this original breath of life.
Yes.
In oneness with this creative force of life.
Yes.
In oneness with this purposeful force of life that knows its source, its power, and it is here as us. We are today fed, nourished with this power intelligence, with this creativity, and we are blossoming like the beautiful flowers, with petals of joy, with petals of harmony, with petals of peace, with petals of love. Oh, yes, with leaves of understanding, with leaves of intelligence, with leaves of purposefulness, and with roots of anchorage, with roots of courage. We are here blossoming as a divine fruition of this omnipotent presence, God. And now we experience our oneness with this power, sharing our purposefulness with all of life, and bringing soul liberation into the lives of humanity and all of life. We are here, the energy fields of the omnipotence, omnipresence, and omniscience God.
Yes.
Impacting our innate selves into life, transforming and transmuting life into its original, beautiful, perfect state. The spirits that we are today finds fruition, finds fulfillment, because we are here impacting the power, the good, the joy, the love, the harmony, the peace we are, and this life is become the heaven it was meant to be. In our connectedness with this spirit, we simply say, and it is. We simply allow it, and it is done. And we know through us and as us, this world is blissful, is joyful, and we are fulfilled in our incarnation here because God is done. Because God is done with our lives. We experience this, we feel this, we know this, we accept this as manifesting with our lives every step of our way, and to which end we are eternally grateful. And so, let it be. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.